in that previous game, just to contrast that, obviously another Inferno game we saw just now. It felt like it was so important, really, for Squawk to get on the board early, get a couple rounds in early. And so here, ending up with a round lost, I feel like B are almost going to have to win a couple of these first rounds if they really want to make it competitive at all.
Sure, it's acceptable if they don't get a pistol. It's something that many people suggested and still are thinking about. Like, if you win both pistols, you basically won the game. But it's quite tough to play against those dogs now. And even if you don't win, you can easily get run over by the MAC-10s and get really brained on by many of the teams that cannot play slow and play like foxes. But let's see, of course, the experience from BEE is really small. They play against the Double Pony, the French team, and then against Budapest 5 in their own national league. So at least they can count on some rounds that they can win. Of course, SKADE almost to the major, not really far off that. And maybe they should be the ones winning. Of course, they might be the favorites for many, but I'll keep my chances for BE, and let's see if the Hungarians are going to show up here in the brightest.
Dennis on the M4 is almost just as scary as him on the op. He just waits it out here, shifts, walks with his back turned as Denislaw immediately takes him out with that headshot, gets through again, and the shot through the smoke, not much worse. Headshot onto Remain this time around to send SKADE up to a 5-on-3 with 4 players around this A site. Was completely necessary for me to rotate over, but then SKADE just always that one step ahead. You can see there was already that rotation for him. Duplicate where he at least baits out B to think that there is more here on the B site than what actually is true. What actually is true is that there's only ships. And that's not very strong only. He can stand quite tall for himself. He gets into it. He gets the one kill to show up, and then through the smoke he plays still to go down, but that bomb might not. Stanislav takes him out before that point, and R9K, no chance for him now to get back into it. Into where that bomb is. You can see the desperation on his face as he tries to hide out, but he goes down after the round is over. You can see what that does to his economy. 700 in his bank account now, and that's just not good enough. Great round there from Denislav to open it up, and just the quality on SKADE already being shown off in a lot of ways. On these
quality of
really
life.
Strong players.
Yeah, quality of life for SKADE, as you can see, just bouncing around those sites. No worries even if they want to get down or get up. They even played the retake so fast that not even the bomb came in. And
is it a retake at that point?
Nah, I don't think so. Nah, that won't be happening at all. Let's see if they can make something with the nades. And of course, against the Deagles, it should sharpen them up. Do you feel like this should be the round that they win, or BE can surprise them?
I just feel like the quality is there. As long as SKADE have these rifles, which feels like they'll have a lot of, it's just going to be hard to really do anything against them. Obviously, when you're weakened like this as well, it doesn't help. R9K used all the money that he did have to get the Deagle on the board. It's Ultra's Deagle who actually gets that first kill on the board for them. But again, SKADE, always that step ahead, already having the 2 kills ready to go, to mean that B still don't end up with a man advantage. Instead, Duplicate can just diminish him down and from there on out. I mean, it's just so difficult, right? Just walking into absolute... It's like walking into a room and it's a bunch of like sensor-activated machine guns. You can't really do anything against them. They're just going to hit every shot. And SKADE so far, not missing a lot right now. Denislav barely even needs to pick up the AWP, but he does anyway. As he will be joined by a bunch of M4s. B gotta try something here in the gun round. I feel like they'll have to try quite a few unorthodox strategies if they are to really get out with a lot of rounds here, because playing SKADE straight up does not seem like the optimal strategy so far.
Well, just hope we won't be ending up like the last match, while being the favorite, losing the rounds basically in a fast fashion, as we've seen it 4-1 for Squawk, and they lost and semi got to 5-5, and basically the whole game turned around. But this is going to be SKADE with the guns, and BE needed to make a promise within these few rounds to make at least one count. It's going to be Slower pace on Banana. 3 of them stuck there. 1 nade, 1 more. He could hurt him a lot. Luckily, SKADE, they still don't have to even put their foot down. And waiting around. Shifts. 50 HP lower. It's going to be easier for SKADE to defend now, as they've got 50 seconds. And it feels like an A hit, though Rainmaker in the place of Dennistal, he should be in a great spot until BE just rotate back. And it's going to be, again, the B hit that we've seen so many times from the Run or Die. And it's going to be the replica from the Hungarian team now on the D side.
With only the 30 seconds left to go as well. They've thrown those smokes to come through. Ships and Duplicate here, though. As those M4 laser guns come back through. Duplicate using his smoke very well to get a little bit more space and to get that second frag on the board. Ships not being much worse to it. So he gets 2 of his own. Nest not with much to do here. Locked into the site. They surely will just be riding about now. Ships almost wants to go for the knife there, but we'll end off with the M4 instead. And again, it is just, it's not, SKADE aren't even trying to play this one like they're some super dominant team, but it's just so obvious right now, the quality difference where SKADE, again, they just don't miss a lot of shots. And so it's just hard to play against when Ships gets 2 kills and Duplicate gets 2 kills. And every site you walk into, you've lost 4 players from just killing 2. That's never going to end up in a favorable spot. And they didn't even kill 2 players that time. It was just the 1. So be now the Deagle's trying to do a bit more than that, but I don't see it just yet where those kills are going to come from.
Oh, there might be some coming towards Banana. Couple of the Deagles and really low HP on Duplicate. He needs to fall back, slow it down, and leave BE the gun that they wanted. Though this was a play with the HEs, and even BE got the most of it. 1-man advantage, that still could be possible. Now against the op, they have to peek at least 2 in once. But of course, don't line up, as we've seen many here against the ecos. And the ecosystem won't be working here, as the HE again hits hard. But no one lays down, and now it's gonna be the time, playing around the smoke, playing with the advantage, and many pistols have to overwhelm Duplicate. Though it might be a serious task to stay in here, stay in place. But now, just shooting through the smoke, he just needs to tap and tap them all. Alright, I feel like someone has the sense if the smokes are solid or not. And just walking in, that's one of the players of BE. Open up here and Duplicate again in the same place, but without a smoke. He needs to dance around, be the bullet master. But the conductor is the guy on the side. Eric, he might as well get a bomb one down. And it's now 2v2.
As for the smoke landing through to at least give SKADE some space to operate on. Rainmaker just trying to get into things. They only need to really connect on 1 shot here anywhere on the body for both players, and say less, says Rainmaker. He already gets 1 kill just in the corner there. K still ends up with 1 kill, but quickly traded as Caliber just about holds on. A much better round there from BE than what we've seen previously. They actually did get into the site and so on, but still, they just can't find a way into these sites without giving up. Just a few too many kills. Duplicate here for the smoke with 3 kills in total there in that round. And that's just not very sustainable. Even if they end up with a 1-on-1 there, it felt like they just gave up a few too many when they were getting into the sites as a whole. And in the end, SKADE still end up with a round. But still a nice attempt from them. But again, just looking much better that time.
Net profit for BE, at least the bomb plant and a couple of guns already acquired. Though Dennistal might be again as a sensei walking around the middle. It feels like those operators just try to imitate the playstyles and see if this one works. No, this one. And yeah, I just feel like maybe the smokes also might be a bit of a gate for the CTs. Going into the site and you can ask your teammates, oh, he's in the smoke. Is he in the smoke? In it? And then there's someone in there. And look at that. Duplicate again tries his magic and through the smoke jump shots. Someone as Ships does the same with Max 7. And I hate that gun. I hate that gun when the CTs have it up close and personal. And this puts BE again at the net loss. They have to operate with 3 players remaining.
That's with, again, SKADE just having so much map control there over towards the B site, so they we're able to have 3 players over towards here as well. Calibra's already taken them 1 kill. You can see it from the lack of damage SKADE are taking, right? In the way they're just able to immediately take out these terrorists, where they don't have a chance to get a scratch in on SKADE with their players. Just in that kill from Caliber as one of the examples, Vulture will get into the thick of it here. Gets the 1 kill, but still just going to be shifts left, and so not much to do. I mean, 4 players to kill. SKADE all over the map. Caliber just walking straight into him, but he misses the op shot. And that might be the death sentence. Had no time to really get into the site itself anyway, but might still be able to get out the op. They've heard him. They know exactly where he is, but can he stay alive in the kitchen now? They walk up to him, and I think he will keep that op over towards the next round, but I'm also not sure if SKADE mind too much, because we haven't really been much more scary in the gun rounds than otherwise. And so even with the AWP, I'm not sure how afraid SKADE are going to be of it. If Dennis not picking up an op at the zone. And now up to 6-0 and score.
At least BE feel like they're like a hurt dog. Even when he's hurt, he's still fighting, and BE do the same here. They need to preserve their energy and, of course, their hype into the match. It's now just 0-6 for them. No worries, it's still not the lost health, as we've seen Squawk lose out on the enemy in the last match. It was the Infernos, the second Inferno of the day. Hopefully no more Infernos tonight, as yeah, that will be a bit of a saturation of the market here. But the only thing in the market is Nest, peeking around, tries to make a space. But his teammates are following him, and the HE might be hurting a lot more. Caliber in the position into PK, and double kill most from him. But there is Dennis Law to assist him quite well, quite nicely. And it's going to be a nasty cut, at least from Eric. Might be still catching the wind of the victory here. 1v3, players separated. And still into the action he comes.
I mean, Ship's just holding it with the Mag 7. It's kind of the optimal weapon up. There he is. Instant headshot. Eric was one of the players coming into this one that I was thinking about just as a real X factor for being, maybe not in this game where you're still not expecting them to win, but certainly in the game coming up, or just in games in general where they might be facing some slightly more even opponents. Eric could definitely make it work, because you can see it already. He's kind of the shining light here for the T side when otherwise they've looked slightly weak. Obviously putting up a couple great attempts at those impossible clutches as well. He only gets the tech 9 this time around. He walks in straight first of all, but then duplicate. Well, Flash still ends up with the 2 kills to open things up. And the nade to follow up as well. Does so much damage. I mean, SKADE not even challenged in this round. They are really just a click or 2 away from getting up to 8-0, and that would not be a very underserved scoreline either.
That's just playing around from the CTs. We're gonna see the last 2 men probably running in. If there was an AWP, maybe Dennis could shoot through it, but they're gonna leave it on duplicate. Maybe by himself defending the site against 2 hit enemies. Of course, their HP aren't the healthiest ones, but let's see if they can at least pick up a kill. That will be precious for them. As they've got a coach that's 20 years old. I'm coaching a team myself, and I feel like the coaches are quite important part of the team, but sometimes they are quite underrated. And if I was in the place of PMK, I would call applause after this round, even if it's a win or if it's a loss. But Nest still tries with Shift to shift the gears, change up the plan for the SKADE. But they know that it's going to be the B side, and Rainwaker just needs to hold it out, presses mouse 1, and this should be the round for him. Of course, he finishes it up. And so we have a half for the SKADE, and they won their first.
Yeah, it just makes it look so easy there right in the closing stages. Even if they need a nice double spray down to open things up. You might be thinking, by the way, as well, just looking at this game, based on how it's going, that they like sneaked into this tournament, BE, getting through the Hungarian qualifier, but they played well in it. You know, they beat Budapest 5, who did get through in the end in the semi-final, and I mean, just ending up from a very tough Hungarian qualifier, beating Lenovo 1 bit of the way here as well. So they certainly have some quality to them, but maybe it's just a step too far to try and go up against SKADE. But even reaching this tournament is kind of an accomplishment of its own for them. See, SKADE didn't have such problems in their qualifier, and weren't really expected about it. When Rainbreaker here can just straight up for a single one down. I mean, it just looks so simple when he does it. Rainbreaker ends up with 4 kills that time. And yeah, it's just SKADE being at the target practice right now. And not much more to it than that, really, so far. BE struggling to really find their footing so far. You can see there, it's just these spray downs, man. They can't stop walking into these crosshairs. Rainbreaker barely having to move the mouse to get the 4 kills there as he gets to 9. Do you think they just need a couple challenges now, SKADE, like win around without W? Pressing
maybe, yeah, I think that's something needed for them to have a fun in here. But you know, like maybe win around with just utility, as we've seen one of the SKADE players had like a 300 util damage already in 9 rounds, and the other one had around 150. So if they can win around with just an 8, that'll be impressive. But of course, they won't be liking.
They're already on the way there. I mean, some of these rounds just putting up, as you mentioned, some of those massive utility stats. More damage done here, but it's Stanislaus Op to finish off the job that time. So set up the 5-on-3 now already, where SKADE are just on the right site at the right time with enough players at all times. Never really doubting them. You can see there, by the way, Kaluber, he must have rejoined the server or something, right? I don't think he's gotten involved that much, though. Has he just not died? Maybe he didn't.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah, because he did win the 1 clutch, right, where he was the only one alive. So I guess that lines up. We'll see if he keeps that streak. Hiding out in pit for now is BE, trying to make the move in towards the A side of things. Not a lot of utility to work with. They look a little bit doubting themselves. Blowbrand up with 1. He does go down there to end off the streak, but then it's not getting too much difficult. Despite that fact for SKADE, as they still end up with what should be the round at any moment now. Just trying to get out Nests, Rainbreaker, baiting him out with the USP. And I don't think it's worked in terms of Nest turning away, but certainly not much that wouldn't work right now. Denzel ends up with the frag in the end as SKADE end up with their 10th. I must have cursed Caliber there, by the way. 0 kills, or 0 deaths rather, for 9 rounds, and then I just mention it once, and he's gone.
That happens, you know, like sometimes you are a bit more edgy, a bit more cocky when you're playing in, but let's go to the double digits, and the gates are close for BE. They won't get more than 5 kills now. And when I saw Denislaw, I instantly remembered Stanislaw, and I was waiting like, where is Daps? Like, who is the Daps of SKADE?
I like that question. I will have to get back to you on that one, though.
All right.
Because Denislaw himself is kind of living up to more than the name right now, as he does at least the assist there. Didn't need to do a whole lot more. I mean, right now it doesn't feel like SKADE actually really care about who's credited with the frags, right? They still end up with rounds, even regardless of who's fragging. Duplicate and Co just get out with, yet again, just such a massive man advantage that it's not even a contest in the end. Derek trying to make it interesting. Does make it interesting. 1 kill, but only a minor interest there. So when you say you're looking for the daps of the team, you don't mean somebody who's going to get cut in 2 months.
Hopefully not.
Right. What are you looking for in that instance?
I would say IGL in the team, because I still don't know much about them.
Well, in that regard, I mean, I think it is Chips who's credited mostly with IGLing. Obviously, did a little bit of it on Contact, so even if he's quite a young one as well, I think he's credited with a lot of it. I think Punisher helping out though in that regard. Obviously, ex-Wendigo coach who's now coaching for SKADE.
Oh, let's see.
That's obviously a coach, so maybe a bit of a mistake. Rainmaker here for the smoke, no bullets, and all right. Maybe a contest here. Man advantage for them anyways, as SKADE are going to just walk through the smoke there. BE, they get out alive with the man advantage still true, somehow.
Oh, Those shifts in the corners, stacked between the Rogan and Hardplace. He might as well find a kill up onto the pallet. I don't know if he doesn't see the enemy. No, he doesn't. Still a player alive, and Remain tries his best to escape the situation now. It is now 2v3. Rainmaker again in the pit, holds it by himself. Solid defense, and B just loses and crumbles down up into the last two players. There's still a bomb on Eric, and we've seen from him many entries, and even the attempts were there when BE was falling down. But it still might be lost. No, not lost for BE. Yes, we get 1v1. Players separated into both sides. And just a molly on Rainwaker. Of course, he's got a defuse kit, but only hidden in the site. He's got no info on the last player of the Hungarian team. If he peeks well, if he finds the guy in the site, it would really end. But now this won't be happening this time, and it's still a clean sweep from SKADE's side as they've got 12-0. And yeah, 3 rounds could be still counting if you're going to see them on the C side.
Yeah, it's gonna be a difficult one now to get anything on the board. Again, coming into this one, as I said, just coming into it, it was always just going to be impressive if they put up a couple rounds, but surely they're not going to be walking out of this one proud if they just get absolutely nothing. They have to show something outside of just Eric getting a couple frags. You can see shifts already going down a lot of these rounds, ending before they begin almost. And so, even as B get up live of that Molotov, it's still that man advantage for SKADE, and it's still them never really relinquishing that control of any given round. No control given over up on A either, as instead Nest is forced off the angle. B look for B instead. But has been tough to get into this site at all. Duplicate playing it really well so far. Ships rather could help out as well, but he gets pulled away based on that kill from Nest over towards the A site. So now it is just Duplicate, who's admittedly been great in these anchor positions, but who also will be facing quite a few players here. 50 seconds on the clock, and Nest gets another kill on the board to make it a 4-on-3. Duplicate just goes down. Ooh. As Nest is traded, but it's still that man advantage in a much better position this time. As BE get into that site as well. 37 seconds on the clock, has plenty of time, as Eric's already got another one. With the bomb down, this should just be the first round now for the Hungarians. With Kaluber peeking out, being held down. Eric goes down though. Kaluber trying to keep the dream alive. It's Remain. We'll make it that first round for the Hungarians. Not gonna say it's a great result so far, but I think it's just that monkey off their back, right? Just get the first round on the board for them. And they won't end up a laughing stock or anything. They could maybe even close this round out with this half out now with 1 or 2 more rounds.
You know what's bring the confetti? I feel like the 1 round can skate is something that they can celebrate quite well.
Maybe.
It's, imagine playing like a qualifier for like a major or some DreamHack and then getting like a tier 1 team against you. Isn't it like so unfair that even when you win like a round or 2, is it like a big thing for you if you would be in their place?
Ooh. And Nest specifically. This goes in for, he's been so good in these last 2 rounds and opening up that A site. Therefore opening up the entire map. I think Kaluber still ends up trading it out completely as Duplicate came in from the separate angle as well. As now left it to just that man advantage still in the favor of SKADE. It feels so inevitable, doesn't it? Now they just end up with these round wins even when they fail here and there. The system as a whole is one that's quite hard to buckle. Nest doing his best. He's been, again, brilliant in opening up that A site in these last couple of rounds on that lurking position, but clearly not a lot else working right now for BE.
Still a way to go, of course. If they win the second round, it might be a little easier to do a comeback or, of course, spice it up a little. We've said that they can at least put a few rounds on the board and don't feel so ashamed of themselves. But they're still playing quite a good CS, of course, individual performances from Eric, from Nest as well. And hopefully they'll bring this to the table and talk with their coach who can maybe manage the strats and look at the demo as well, where the mistakes were happening. Of course, they're kind of losing the players. That's like the biggest one. And first one to die is Remain. This is picked up by ships with the AWP. Even the double setup now on CTs isn't something unimaginable, but we can see that many of the players just losing their lives, and the AWPs are those ones that fell. It's going to be just the rifles up and the site under the reconstruction from the D side.
Kaluber and Rainbreaker just playing this one out of pit with Duplicate still far out, so it's going to be on them to really hold this site up, to maybe even hold the round up. To make it 14-1, it's Kaluber with the first here on the A site to trade things out. Rainbreaker is still in pit, they don't even check him. As he gets that second kill on the board, Eric will still get bomb. Bomb on the ground, but not a lot else working in their favor right now. Even as Shifts gets a kill back, he has to be afraid of Duplicate. It's just around the corner, Shifts doesn't peek him. Duplicate's free kill, and Eric is just on the deagle here, just about with armor. Eric peeks around the corner, Duplicate has him nated down. He's so low just from that utility, and then gets shot up on the wall. And it is going to be 14-1. And yeah, I'm not sure. I don't even think they deserve that confetti for the one round, because maybe if they won out like 2 more rounds there in the end, I would have been a little bit proud, but in the end, that's just not good enough. But I mean, you know, it's not even the case that BE are making a ton of mistakes that they have to go through in some demo review, which you were alluding to earlier. I just think SKADE are just so much better on a technical level, and sometimes CS is a simple game in that regard, where SKADE are just hitting like we saw it during especially the first part of that first half, where every time BE walk around the corner, SKADE has the headshot already.
Sure.
And so if you keep walking into angles and you keep getting shot down instantly, you're not going to do a lot about it. So I don't think really there's any fault on BE's side in a lot of ways, but they do want a few more rounds here to show themselves off. Remain and Eric get a kill each here, but then quickly traded Rainbreaker there. Oh, but still ships all alone. Ultra just firing through, and well, that is a second round at least on the board for BE.
What the rounds? I would say, like, I was surprised that there were like 3 or 4 men and B, as we've seen a couple of the kills already coming up there. It wasn't like the brightest defense, of course, crystal clear. We've seen that players were trading east south, and it wasn't the cleanest round, but at least they bring out a second, and they're playing in the EDL. Hopefully, they can bring up some experience there, and also SKADE still might be worrying themselves now, but the Zeus from ships, I don't know, that's kind of a BM now. I don't know if they would trash talk that much with the guns. Let's see if Ultra can at least get a bit further. No, the MP9 is given to the SKADE, and yeah, don't look at a horse's gift, or that's something that we have in Slovak, or Thief, of course. I don't know. It's tough to translate, but translation from Eric, that will be at least 3 kills up to now. And that is all by himself. He won't be finding any more. And so we've got finally another round for BE. 2 in a row. That's more than the first half. Let's see if they can make it a double at least.
Maybe. I mean, again, they can make the scoreline look okay, you know? Even if the game maybe already should be over based on what we've seen. I think if they just pick up a few more rounds here, they can walk out of it and be like have their confidence unscathed in a way. Where if they just lose out 16-3, it's still not going to feel great. I don't think to the Hungarians, even if they are again facing of course, a very good team. You've been alluding to some of the tournaments they've been competing in. Almost played the spoiler in IM Fall, of course, where they were able to get a lot of close results against some proper pro teams. I think they had like close games against FaZe. They had obviously a couple wins picked up against Fiend and Fnatic, and even playing Nip tighter than expected, I think. So I mean, it's just the team on the way up right now. SKADE losing to them, no worries about it. But as you mentioned, might need a few more rounds here. They get a kill at least. Quickly traded. Duplicate walks in, but it's Ultra that time to end up with the frag, even with the flashbangs, maybe counteracting what he wants to do. Remain still just behind that smoke as Ultra looks to delay. Remain comes through, and it is going to be just Kaluber left. as he hides in the corner. He still gets out with another kill on the board, but mollied away. Desperately holding on for dear life right now, Kaluber. Up to the site he goes, no bomb in hand. As Ultra just hides it out, Nest walking through. Nest, not to really be expected here as Kaluber turns his back as Nest gets the 4th round on the board. Credit to Remain there as well for pushing through the smoke like that to pick up the 2 kills, which ended up in their favor in a lot of ways. SKADE, not needing great money here, so maybe a chance for me to get one more round of the board or so.
Yeah, SKADE are bleeding so heavily when they got to the side. Already 2 men alive, and it felt like, yeah, the round should be over for BE quite soon, but still Kerber fighting his best, and even when he was about to die, he still took few guys with him, and he's the one with Framewaker at 17 kills. I'll duplicate on 22. Let's see if the banana control works out now. Couple of pistols again, but now it's going to be a solid defense from the cities. Just a couple of smokes to slow it all down. And yeah, I finally remembered what I wanted to say. It's like, don't look at Gifted Horse's teeth, because that's something like, if you get something, don't be ashamed of it, or don't try to be negative about that, because it's still something, and maybe something it's around so that BE are counting on, and still piling them together. As we see 2 more guys alive, and Nest that should be flee, and okay, maybe he's fleeing from the scene, and the deagle from Duplicate. I don't know if this guy had a great dinner, but this animal stay like, and even Kaluber picks up his own. I don't know if the deagles might be the last faith from the SKADE.
Caliber on that M4 as well, though. Just to hold off for B are actually playing firm right now. Both coming in from Motto here as they throw in those smokes, have plenty of utility to use. The flash has come through. Kaluber peeking in. He goes down. It is the only Duplicate. He's only on 22 health as well as he gets peeked on. And as V pick up a 5th round. That's a type of round I don't think we've seen them pick up a lot so far, even in their 5 rounds now, where they are able to kind of come back from SKADE, grinding their way back into a round, and that shows off a lot of qualities that I don't think we saw a lot of in that first half.
They're going to be climbing.
Stick around.
They're going to be climbing, as you can see, already 5 rounds, even 4 in this half. And yeah, you might say it was just a pistol, it was just an anti-eco, but the AWP is going to be in play, and BE won't be having any here. Maybe still their choice, as the AK is sometimes going to be a bit more precise here. And if you're going to push in, then you're going to need some rifle that's more expensive and maybe more confident for your next play. Again, the slow util from both sides, but Eric again contested banana. Their best player already down. Nah, that won't be looking like a good attempt from BE to stabilize this. The destiny isn't still written, but it's 3v5. And BE are on the losing side this time.
Well, yeah. Kind of like what they've been doing for a lot of this game still. Ships walking out the back.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
He tried to go for full disrespect. Jesus.
No way.
I was actually ready for him to turn around. Didn't work out that time. But it does. I thought about this in the first half as well, where it just feels like SKADE have played in every single angle like 1,000 times more than BE. You know, where that experience, it feels like it's really shining through. They just know what decisions to make based on experience and based on obviously playing even just way higher rated teams than what they're currently doing. Be on still a bye here, but that might just have been their final contribution to this game. Only winning these 5 rounds so far, with surely not much more here to be found. That was a failed knife attempt, I guess, from Ships.
At least a little bit of a fun.
Yeah, something like that. Nest ends up with 1 here before he goes down to start this round off, but it is BE who kind of needs to get this final round of the board. Or get a 6th round of the board, rather, not a final one. Just to regain that confidence a little bit further. They have got themselves into some good positions, though, Eric. on the flank there, misses his shots though as Dennis Law instead makes it the 3-on-3. Dennis Law also to get the bomb down here with Ships just around the corner, has the free kill to get. Oh, he wants
Not
the knife.
again.
He's going for again.
Oh,
Not again. Bomb going down. They know where Remain is playing from, so that's something. Ships doesn't quite spot him there. Remain peeks ahead of the knife. He does get tagged up for it. Dennis, or Ships rather, takes through finally and does get the kill in the end. As B are all taken out in the end. 6